Aquarius, welcome to the Winds of Jupiter, August 2017 Eclipse Tarot Card Reading. Now there's been a lot of excitement about this pair of eclipses, and in particular the August 21st total solar eclipse that's happening in the United States. And it'll be traversing from the northwest all the way across the United States to the southeast. Now these eclipses are going to be bringing culminations, closures, releases, endings, and new beginnings on a personal and even a larger social scale. And my reading is going to extend for 6 months, if not a year. Now I laid out 3 main cards, and then the cards to the right are the future cards. And I'll be doing a combination card and astrology dice reading too. And the astrology dice represent the zodiac signs, the planets or lunar nodes, and the houses. And the cards that you received is the Ace of Cups, the King of Swords, the Tower, the Sun, and Temperance. My goodness, you have 3 out of 5 that are major arcana cards. Now the Ace of Cups is a promise, a blessing of a new beginning. Love, emotions, imagination, intuition. This cup with the streams of water represent your senses, the material senses that has pleasure and enjoyment. This card can herald a multitude of things: childbirth, romance, marriage, rites of passage, rituals, social gatherings, and it can even herald business success. This is a promise about you being able to accomplish your dreams. And strangely enough, right next door you have the King of Swords holding a sword up, facing directly to the Ace of Cups. Now these 2 cards are opposite on a couple different levels. Cups is emotions, and Swords about air, communication, and the mind, logic. And the Ace is a beginning, and the King is the last court card and the most mature card. And this King of Swords is like a mini emperor. He's running his kingdom with rules and regulations, organization, responsibility, structure. And he's also about court proceedings. He had taken his chainmail off and now has exchanged it for a courtroom. And he holds the sword of truth. So perhaps there was some type of deception going on with your love affairs. And he's overseeing this. He doesn't want you to make decisions with emotions. He wants you to make decisions with reason and logic. And now with these 2 opposing forces in some type of titanic struggle, you have the Tower card. Now you're thinking, oh no, for the next 6 months to a year I'm going to have this Tower card. But the Tower card can be really positive. It's a neutral card. It's what you do with it. Now you were going through a natural progression of opposing force struggles, and finally it hit a head. And there's some kind of collapse, but this could be more of a release, an awakening, a freedom from bondage for you, a change in circumstances, and maybe an enlightenment, a spiritual enlightenment. Maybe now you're shedding some things that have no purpose anymore in your life. And this could be a multitude of things: a relationship, a person, beliefs, your work. I find this card very refreshing and challenging at the same time. This is an awakening card. And here in the future you have 2 more major arcana cards. You have the Sun card and Temperance. This card's about moderation, self-control, restraint. It's actually reminding you to shed impulsive desires. And maybe that's what the Tower card is reminding you of too. This Temperance card is about opposing forces that you're supposed to ameliorate, to not have an explosion. And here we see the Ace of Cups and the King of Swords being dipolar opposites. I see this Temperance card having you question who you really are and where you want to go next. But at whatever you do next, she's urging you to find balance in your relationships and cautioning you also to have patience and moderation. And this is excellent advice with you going through some type of transformation with this Tower card. It's time to slow down things a little bit and take it cautiously. You know, this is kind of the idea of don't rush in where angels fear to tread. And speaking of that, this Temperance card can actually signify you having some guardian, a guardian angel, or an ascended master that's back there helping you in the backdrop. This card is reminding you that it's not the destination, it's about enjoying the journey getting there. And then you have the Sun card. This is about abundance, joy, happiness. The Tower and the Sun card is about cosmic karma. And the Temperance card is about awakening. Actually, it has 1 foot in the awakening and 1 foot in the cosmic karma. The Sun card is about enlightenment, understanding, shedding light on your path ahead of you. The eclipsing, as we have an eclipse now, our 2 eclipses coming up, it's the eclipsing of tough times. It's injecting your life with positive energy and strength, inner strength. The one thing that the Sun card requires you to be or to have in your life is simplicity, honesty, unpretentiousness. This card reminds you of the joy of living or just the delight of being alive. Well, this isn't too bad a reading for having a Tower card, 2 opposing forces, and then a future to look forward to. Now I shook the dice and you received Cancer, the North Node, in the 6th house. The North Node is a mathematical point where nearby eclipses occur, which how interesting, or coincidental, if you believe in coincidences. And loosely you can think of the North Node as your purpose or destiny in life, while teaching your life lessons. Now Cancer in the North Node has luck associated to it, along with understanding and good judgment. And that was pretty much trickled all the way through the spread. But when there's something good, there's always a catch to find something bad, and depressingly, this can bring relationship difficulties. And that might be the reason that the Tower collapsed. And the King of Swords is reminding you to think with logic and reason. And with Cancer in the North Node, this is about giving and receiving emotional support from lovers, family, and friends. This is going to require you, Aquarius, to take your focus from the big picture and the cosmic collective and the networks and go to the small picture of the sensitive home and hearth issues. Risking vulnerability may well be worth the price of hearing soothing words or giving soothing words. The Ace of Cups and the King of Swords are a dynamic duo, and hopefully you're up for the task. The Tower may be swaying from seismic tremors, but you have control in your hands as to which way it falls. Maybe there was some kind of sudden change in circumstances that took you off balance. It also may indicate that there's some unresolved past issues that are surfacing again that need some kind of closure. But Temperance is reminding you to temper your behavior and be patient. And the Sun's card is there to catch you. These are some pretty heavy-duty major arcana cards that are supporting you, and take advantage of them. This can be really cathartic in an awakening sort of way. And it seems like you do have the power to put to bed some unresolved concerns that probably have been haunting you for a while. And this could make a big difference in your life. Now the North Node in the 6th house, and the 6th house is about work and service. has you immersed in your thoughts and comfortable with your own company. And this could have you kind of floating away into a fantasy land. Don't get stuck in some black hole gravity draw and lose reality and fall into some Alice in Wonderland's rabbit hole. And I think that's the reason for the King of Swords there, is he's keeping you rational, logical, and he's rescuing you from possibilities of Fantasyland dreams. And the King also brings confidence, which is a balm to your soul, and knocks some discipline into you. Now, Cancer in the 6th house varies your moods, and you're emotionally connected with your daily routines. This can attack the sensitive Cancer if there is some change in your routines. Anything offbeat can put your life into turmoil. And you are a creature of habit at times. And if you're taken off your schedule, you're going to go into stress overload. But you certainly have a good lineup of cards that are going to help you with the small but daunting changes that'll happen. Keep the patience, is what the Temperance card is saying. You'll be choosing to take a role where you're connecting and helping yourself and others. Intuition could bring some messages, and that's what the presence of the Ace of Cups card. This is a time where you could maybe shed some really nagging past issues when the Tower card falls and takes you out of kind of a dream state that you've been in. And surprisingly, serving others at this time is going to bring some self-fulfillment, more than you actually ever did expect. And I wish you acceptance, peace, and happiness.